Well, get ready for the month of the DLC. You'll know why in just a minute. Welcome back. Today we're checking out the best new games releasing in June 2024. First up this month is the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road chapter. The game continues its yearly content update cadence, adding new playable regions, stuff to do within those areas, more gear to chase, new storylines, and typically some additional game feature or mechanic as well. I spent about a week on ESO's private test servers checking out all the new stuff, so here's what you can expect. The new explorable area is Westweald, an Imperial region last seen in Oblivion, now threatened by the encroaching Valenwood jungle and Daedric incursions, because it's always the Daedra in Elder Scrolls showing up to ruin a nice thing. The zone is full of all of the usual and expected types of content. There are points of interest such as castles, towns, ruins, and camps, all tied to either the main or side story missions. There are new delves and public dungeons. These are those bite-sized romps through caves, ruins, dungeons, and the like. The new zone also comes with new world bosses like Fang and Talon, a pair of manticores who leap around, attacking with swipes, bites, and shooting lightning. There's a brand new event type called Mirrormoor Incursions. Like other world events, this is a variation on the Dolmens. There are two new endgame dungeons and a new 12-player trial, and while with all of this, there are new item sets, both craftable and looted. There are collectibles like a mount, pet, and skill styles, achievements, a new Tales of Tribute deck, and more. And then the new feature coming in this update is called Scribing. Basically a form of crafting your own skills. This lets you customize your playstyle, collecting special skills and modifying their effects and functionality. It essentially lets you fill gaps in your build where your class might be lacking. So if you need a particular buff type, crowd control, movement skill, heal, whatever, Scribing lets you make a wide range of gap fillers more or less. I really like ESO. I play it at least once a year to check out all the new content. It's part of my regular rotation along with World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, and a few other MMOs. I did enjoy playing some of the new stuff on the PTS, and I plan to play a bit more once it actually goes live. The Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road chapter launches on June 3rd for PC and June 18th for Xbox and PlayStation. Before we go on to the next game on our list, let's get a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Tarisland, a brand new cross-platform fantasy MMORPG. The game features the holy trinity of classic warrior, mage, and priest archetypes. Choosing from 9 classes and 18 specializations, you'll create your own build as you play through the main story, explore the world, and team up with others to take on epic bosses. The profession system allows you to create your own unique play style. Every profession comes with flexible talent trees, letting you freely swap aspects of your build for different encounters and scenarios. The game features a large open world to explore, full of theme park elements, various puzzles, events, and activities to partake in. Endgame consists of group PvE with dungeons and raids, and quite possibly an encounter with this massive, imposing, cataclysmic blight dragon. And there's PvP as well, with team-based competitive arenas. Tarisland is coming to both PC and mobile on June 21st with cross-platform play. To learn more and check out Tarisland for yourself, just use the link in the description below. All right, moving on to the next game on this list, we have got Destiny 2. It is back with its 8th expansion, which is crazy to say out loud because it still feels like Destiny 1 released, I don't know, yesterday. This update called The Final Shape has players, quote, embarking on a perilous journey into the heart of the Traveler to end the war of light and darkness. And maybe this will truly be the end, as Destiny 3 is rumored to be in development. We'll see, but for now, we still got Destiny 2. They're doing things a little differently this year, replacing seasons with what they are calling episodes. Each episode will include new story content, exotic missions, artifact mods, weapons, armor, and other rewards. The episodes will also be split into 3 acts, with each act's story and content focusing first on the Vex, then the Scorn, and finally the Hive. As for new content, the Final Shape will include a new free roam destination, the Pale Heart, located within the Traveler, with areas that are influenced by previous destinations explored throughout the history of the franchise. There's new super abilities for the existing light subclasses, as well as a new subclass called Prismatic, which allows players to combine and use light and dark abilities in tandem. A new enemy race called the Dread. These will include Grims, these flying bat-like creatures that shoot from a range and suppress players, Husks, fast-moving, attack players with blades, and unleash this homing Geist upon death. There are Attendants and Weavers, Cabal, Scion-like enemies, and Omens and Harbingers, tall bipedal beings that use glaives, stasis, and strand powers. Over the course of the year, they plan to release 1 new raid, 2 new dungeons, along with 1 returning raid. The expansion also features the return of exotic items from each class. There's also big changes to the power level system, with the Fire Team Power feature that will adjust players' power levels to 5 levels below the highest power level in the Fire Team. So basically, there's they're scaling every player in a group so that they're more in line and closer to each other in terms of power level. And they're also going to be reversing the weapon sunsetting that was introduced in Beyond Light in 2020, which I wasn't actively playing Destiny at the time, but from what I recall, this was a highly contentious decision that they made. Destiny 2, The Final Shape, will be releasing on June 4th for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. The long-awaited Elden Ring DLC is finally launching this month. Current speculation is that this will be a pretty big expansion, adding a significant amount of new content, areas, bosses, weapons, equipment, and discoveries. The other thing that we know about this DLC is that we are fairly confident it will be really good. Elden Ring was amazing. FromSoft rarely misses. This is one of those like few surefire bets in AAA gaming. Yeah, pretty comfortable in saying that, hey, the next Elden Ring DLC, it's probably gonna be good, guys. I know, but place your bets now, right? You're gonna make some big money here. So the narrative pull for this update is that we are being beckoned into the land of shadow to uncover its dark secrets and meet others who follow in Miquela's footsteps. Whatever the heck any of that means, if you'd like a 30-minute deep dive into that sentence, just check out Vatty's most recent upload. I'm sure he's got you covered. The new area that we'll be exploring is found beyond the lands between. In describing this, FromSoft said, players can seamlessly travel back and forth between its vast maps filled with many points of interest, dungeons, and of course bosses to fight. From the initial trailers that we've seen, there's been a few different locales worth noting. We've seen some wide open fields of grass with castles and the big tree in the distance. We've seen some underground swamps and various areas full of lava. Just more of that like dark, grim fantasy setting that FromSoft it does so well. We know there will be new weapons, equipment, weapon skills, and magic not found in the base game, along with new enemies, boss encounters, plot lines, and lore, some of which we've seen in the trailers, like the new Crucible incantation that gives you wings, a rapid shooting crossbow, and a huge bomb pot you can throw at enemies. The trailer also presents some Ashes of War, including one that lets you kick enemies, and a new roar ability that transforms your head into a lion. That's pretty cool. Even with what little we've seen, it all looks pretty cool. I'm sure it's going to be a blast. Also, can I just add how insanely cool enemy and boss design is in FromSoft games? They continue to surprise me with interesting and cool looking characters after all these years. I don't know how they do it. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree launches on June 20th for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. This will be one of the big bangers this month without question. So those are some of the better looking games releasing this month. As you know, they're all DLCs, but there are some other things worth keeping an eye on. So let's move on to our honorable mentions. Chernobyl Liquidators has you stepping into the shoes of a nameless hero confronting treacherous radiation following the Chernobyl incident. You'll traverse the abandoned city of Pripyat, fighting against radioactive dust clouds and exploring the tunnels underneath the reactor. As for key features, well, you'll take on the role of a firefighter, liquidator, and commanding officer as you experience the liquidation action from a first-person perspective, using specialized equipment to fight radiation as you explore iconic locations of the power plant and contamination zone, all in search of discovering the truth through conversations and various documents that you'll find. Chernobyl Liquidators is coming to Steam on June the 6th. If you happen to miss the PC release last month, V Rising is coming to PlayStation 5 on June 11th. I spent the better portion of 2 weeks playing this game and had a real good time. Hopefully the console release holds up. I have heard mixed impressions on how the game plays on controller. Ideally, they've been sorting that out since the PC release. But just as a game, V Rising, pretty fantastic. It's survival crafting with action combat from the team behind Battlerite and Bloodline Champions. You play as a vampire in this gothic world oozing with plenty of vampire-themed folklore. It's just a great game. I highly recommend it. And so does most of Steam. With nearly 80,000 reviews, the game sits at a very positive rating, 9 out of 10 score. That's pretty good. V Rising, pretty fantastic game. I really like it. So check it out on PS5 if you've not already. Soulmask is a new sandbox survival game where you take on the role of the last one, blessed with a mysterious and powerful mask. Like most survival titles, you'll start with nothing, gather, explore, craft, and build, while also recruiting allies for your clan. So as you grow your tribe, you can actually possess and take over their bodies, making use of their unique talents and abilities. As the game progresses, you'll discover more masks with their own unique looks and powers. Combat features 8 different styles of weapons and 75 supporting combat skills to tailor your fighting style however you like. There's a large world to explore with rainforest, rivers, deserts, plateaus, wetlands, volcanoes, and even snowy mountains. You'll also explore ancient ruins and temples scattered throughout the world with their own hidden secrets to uncover. The developer says there's more than 500 hours of content. That is quite the pitch. Wow, all right, 500 hours of content, whether you are farming, raising livestock, or exploring the mysterious ruins of the world. Soulmask supports offline single player or online multiplayer with up to 70 people on official servers. The game launches on June 18th, coming to PC via Steam. Aska is another open world survival craft tribe building game, though this one focuses on tribe building. Don't turn away. I know there's a lot of survival crafting games, but this actually looks interesting. So here you are tasked with building a self-sustaining Viking tribe, working, crafting, hunting, and fighting together. You'll command and organize NPC villagers while working and fighting alongside them, crafting the ultimate settlement solo or together with up to 3 friends. Key features include commanding villagers and building your tribe from the ground up, hunting for resources, and surviving against ancient threats and dark winters. You'll assign each villager various jobs as they contribute to your tribe and help grow your settlement. You can construct housing, workshops, mines, farms, defenses, and more. You'll discover hidden caves and venture out to harvest valuable resources. The whole world is procedurally generated and full of secrets, landmarks, and various threats. There's realistic and dynamic weather systems with survival priorities shifting in the turning seasons. You'll fight a variety of mythical enemies with skill-based action combat and can customize buildings with functional furniture and various decorative items. This one actually looks to have potential. I hadn't heard about this until putting this list together, but I was actually pretty impressed with not only the features, but how the game looked in action. So keeping my fingers crossed with this one. I know there's a lot of survival crafting games, but this could be good, we'll see. Aska launches into Steam Early Access on June 20th. Oh, and for anyone who is curious about Life by You, Paradox Interactive's upcoming spin on the Sims franchise, this was originally set to launch this month, but has been delayed until further notice. It looks like they were coming in a little hot, the game was not quite where they wanted it to be, and rather than announcing a new tentative release date, they just said they'll let us know once they are more certain. All right, so those are the games, but there are beta tests, actually quite a few of them, 2 of which are happening right now as of the release of this video. Tarisland, yes, I know that was today's sponsor, but it's an MMO, so it was going on this list either way. So they've got a very short beta that's running from May 27th until the 30th, so you can try it out for yourself and see if it's something that you're actually interested in. Registration is available on their website. It says that this will be a small-scale technical test with about 10,000 players total being invited. Corepunk's second round of alpha testing is also currently underway. This one lasts a full week from May 27th to June 2nd. I'm hopeful that with the feedback from the last test, they've made some big improvements here. The game was in drastic need of some quality of life, but honestly, more so than anything, I'm just hoping to see more content, more variety, more points of interest, and more activities, and less sitting around a campfire for 3 straight minutes just waiting for my health to regenerate. Although there are some aspects of the game that I felt were underwhelming, I am generally very much so hopeful and rooting for Corepunk. I love the idea. They've talked about some really cool features and content. I'm just waiting to see that in action. As for the invites, well, it looks like those are being pulled from the pool of people with registered accounts on their official site, which you can sign up for at any moment. Bitcraft is the social sandbox MMO. It's got its second alpha test starting on June 17th. I am slightly less enthused about this game than I was before my time of trying it, but after the prior test, I was quite underwhelmed, to be honest with you. However, it is still alpha, so we're gonna give the game some time to cook. I am hoping, though, once it pops out of the oven, that it's got a far more engaging gameplay loop, because frankly, I just found it a little boring. I really didn't enjoy my time at all. I think like I spent 2 to 3 hours with it, and I was pretty much done by the end of those 3 hours, which is not typical. Usually I can stomach a lot with a game, but wasn't engaging, wasn't very entertaining. And yeah, I'm hoping to see more. I'm hoping to see more fleshed out combat, and I'm hoping to see things to do besides just like sit at your crafting stations, which really felt like all there was, frankly. But fingers crossed, it's in alpha. We'll give them time before we pass final judgment. Registration for the second alpha, if you want to check it out, is available on their website. And undoubtedly one of my most anticipated games that I'm hoping to play in June is Path of Exile 2. Although the beta got pushed back until later in this year, they are still intending to run alpha testing this month. No specifics have been announced, but it is safe to say this will be far less open with far fewer players than the beta would have had. I'm gonna to do my best to try to get invited. I will bug whoever I need to bug, and should they lift the NDA, I'm hoping to have coverage for you all at some point here on the channel in the coming months or whenever. Either way, this game is looking great, and I cannot wait to play it. Also, can't leave without mentioning the fact that yes, Summer's Games Fest is happening starting on June 7th, kicking off 3-day weekends worth of events and reveals. Some of the things that we're expecting from this include some sort of new announcement for New World. We are presuming it's going to be the official announcement of a console release, and presumably some sort of a big update to coincide with that. No doubt we're going to be getting some gameplay or something for the Elden Ring DLC. Once Human is also supposed to be announcing a release date sometime soon. Also, Iron Mace is making an appearance, so I assume we're going to hear or see something about Dark and Darker. And then also confirmed to be there are Epic Games, Electronic Arts, Bandai Namco, Funcom, Capcom, Sega, WB, Ubisoft, and many more. And hopefully this means that we see some cool new games. Yeah, surprisingly, it looks like June will be one of the lighter months of the year in terms of new releases. In fact, it's not lost on me, like I pointed out, that the main games on this list were all DLCs. Nevertheless, there is new stuff to play, and hopefully you found something that you are interested in. As for me, definitely going to be spending my time with those 3 DLCs. I'm going to check out the ESO update, Gold Road, spend some time trying Destiny 2, see how the final shape is shaping up. And yeah, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, that's a no-brainer. Going to be playing the heck out of that. And I'll check out some of these beta tests as well, praying for that PoE2 invite. But that is all for today. Thank you as always for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Hope you found some games you're interested in checking out this month. Let me know below. Thanks as always. I'll see you next time.